Continuing question 4. Z1, Z2, need to multiply these two together. So I've got 15 here. I've got 20i. I've got minus 12i squared, so that's plus 12. And I've got minus 9i. Total here being 27 plus 11i. What are we doing for f? So f, we want the conjugate of z2. So it says z2 star all squared. So the conjugate of z2 is 5 plus 3i. And if I square that, should we try and do this in one go? So we got 25 minus 9 plus 3 times 5 is 15 and double it. So I've got 30i. So I've got 16 plus 30i. And G, so I was just checking I got it right. I mean, sort of, so for G, we've got to do a divide. So Z1 divided by Z2. So Z1 divided by Z2. Actually, should we get the calculator up and do this one? Yeah, so let's just tap this in the calculator. So we've got a fraction here. We've got 3 plus 4, and I've got an I down here. I don't need to go into any menus to do that. Divided by 5 minus 3i. And so the answer here I can see is 3 plus 29i all over 34. So I encourage you to use the calculator at times, but it might be a show that. And so how do you do this show that? Well, what you do is you times by the conjugate of it. You times by the complex conjugate. That's why it's been so useful here. On the top here, I've got 15 minus 12, and then I've got 20 i's and 9 i's. And on the bottom, this is what I was saying earlier, you do this so often, we've got 25 plus 9, giving us a grand total here of 15 take away 12 is 3, total here of 29 i's all over the 34. The same as we got in the calculator, obviously. So we're doing h, need a bit more room for h. What do we got there? We got z1 conjugate over z2 conjugate. So the z1 conjugate was that, divided by the z2 one. And we're just working through this in the same way as we did before. So we'll times by 5 minus 3i over 5 minus 3i. Clearly the bottom's going to be exactly the same as we had before. What's the top going to be? So can you predict what it's going to be before we get there? So this time we've got minus 12. So we've got 12 and a minus 1. So we've got minus 12 again. And here we've got minus 20 i's and minus 9 i's. And so we're ending up with 3 minus 29i over 34. So is there some result we can think about here then that actually Z1, Z2 conjugate is the same as Z1 over Z2 conjugate? You have to decide, is that always true? Is it just happened to be true in that question there? Is that a rule you could use at any point? But there you go.